Finding a passion happens naturally as you experience life. It all starts with finding something that brings you joy and inspires you. That's how I found blogging. It just occurred to me one day that I liked reading blogs. Why not write one? Passions become hobbies that you keep to yourself on a quiet Sunday afternoon, or now, with the power of the internet, you can share with others on social media. Some people have even turned their passions into a dream career. Sharing your hobby on the internet tends to attract others on the same wavelength. Small comments here and there may become messages, and suddenly a friendship has blossomed, and it was easy. Easier than meeting and talking to people in real life for some reason, especially if you're riddled with social anxieties. Some people use hobbies to attempt to get out of their bubble of anxiety. Bocchi expected playing the guitar to fix her social anxiety, and it sort of works for her. Bocchi the Rock starts with Hattori Goto and a dream, born out of the desire to be noticed and admired. Goto, later lovingly nicknamed Bocchi by her bandmates, decided it was time to pick up guitar, specifically her father's old one. She was on the road to her dream to play in a band, never needing a stressful normal job and to be adored by fans. Being so nervous around people, Bocchi had no other choice than to start teaching herself guitar, which is an admirable story on its own. I feel like it takes discipline to learn an instrument and even more to learn it on your own. Bocchi pours her passion into learning starting in middle school, and then the anime skips to her first year of high school. Bocchi has a thriving YouTube channel where she uploads covers. She's praised by internet strangers under the name Guitar Hero. She thrives off her anonymous account and the praise she receives. Bocchi is really good at guitar. It hasn't made her any friends though, no matter how often she takes her guitar to school. I'm an anxious girly who thinks too much about the way the outside world perceives me. Watching Bocchi carry her guitar around school, waiting for others to come up to her first and tell her how cool it was that she could play, felt too real. I for sure tried to look cool nonchalantly, hoping someone would notice me. Actually, if you've never had a moment like that, I think you're lying. It does pay off for Bocchi, as carrying her guitar to the park results in her being recruited by Nijika Ichiji, the drummer for the indie band Kesiko Band. In that moment, Bocchi was a gift from the universe from Nijika. Kesiko Band was about to perform at a small bar venue called Starry, and their guitarist ran away the day they were supposed to take the stage. Bocchi agrees to play, and it's less out of excitement to suddenly have a band to play with, her life dream, and more because Bocchi could barely speak to the stranger begging her to play. Nijika even mentions Guitar Hero on the way to Starry, and Bocchi is glowing, eating up the comments Nijika didn't even know she was giving. At Starry, Bocchi meets the bassist of Kesiko Band, Ryo Yamada, and her dreams can finally start coming true. Unfortunately, joining a band isn't all stars, rainbows, and easy streets like Bocchi imagined. Playing with a band is different than playing solo, and Bocchi doesn't have any experience with watching band members and keeping time with them or changing keys. She's an incredible solo player, but has to learn the techniques for playing with others. I like that Bocchi wasn't a guitar prodigy that everyone praised on her first try as much as she wanted to be. She has things to learn and has to learn them on the fly with strangers, which is her nightmare. It's a test not only of her guitar skill, but also of her non-existent people skills. Kesiko Band is the start of Bocchi's journey to no longer be as much of an anxious mess. Bocchi is such a relatable character, especially with her anxiety that basically runs the show, dictating each of her actions and mindset. She is the main character, but resigns herself to side character status as someone who struggles to function in the world unless it's digitally. Seeing the impact Kesiko Band has on Bocchi and her growth is slow but persistent, and she won't admit it, but she gets happier as the anime goes on. She learns how to become a really good friend. Bocchi wanted to be a band to avoid working any normal jobs that would turn her into a stressed out puddle. Nijika gets Bocchi a job at Starry, running the concession stand to watch bands and learn more about playing. Kind of like homework and a job wrapped into one. Bocchi decides she'd rather fall through the floor and disappear than sell drinks to strangers. Nijika begs, and it helps them pay for their own performance tickets at Starry, paving the way to their dream. It's a stepping stone. Eventually, Bocchi relents and works on eye contact with customers. Bocchi thinks she's going to be able to quit at one point, and at that time she becomes one of the best employees at Starry, which I felt exactly like that at the end of my time with any job. Unlike Bocchi though, I'm not too nervous to follow through with the act of quitting. Akuyo Kita is the runaway guitarist that in a twist of events couldn't play guitar at all. Turning a sweet scene where Bocchi is burned and Kita offers a handkerchief, Bocchi feels the calluses on Kita's fingers. She knows before anyone that Kita tried to learn for the band, and even if it puts Bocchi's position as the guitarist at risk, Bocchi tells Kita to keep learning guitar. Kita, in turn, asks Bocchi to be her teacher, to which Bocchi's anxiety kicks in, and at first she refuses. It's so funny, though, how quickly Bocchi's friends realize how easy it is to coax Bocchi into doing things. Kita gushes about how amazing Bocchi is at guitar, and for a moment, the air in her big compliment-filled head squishes the voice of her anxiety, and Bocchi agrees to teach Kita. It's one of my favorite bits because it's another relatable Bocchi mannerism. If someone praises me for something I think I'm already kind of good at, for a moment my confidence skyrockets and I'm suddenly the best. As for Rio, Bocchi's giving heart is enough. By that, I mean Rio never has any money and Bocchi always pays for her treats and meals. Even if Bocchi didn't know she was paying, she never refuses to though, mostly again from anxiety. Making a scene in public spaces about money is overwhelming. Before Kesuko's band's second performance, Bocchi is struggling to sell her ticket quota because she doesn't have any friends. It's kind of sad seeing anxiety affect her this way. Her support system is her parents and her little sister, but her little sister can't go because Bocchi's playing at a bar. This shakes Bocchi and she spirals, thinking she'll be kicked from the band for being unable to sell her share of tickets. It's scary for her to think the life she's been building could disappear so easily. Bocchi is still getting used to having friends, not realizing how strong the bond between the band actually is, especially from Nijika, who wants to be part of a band as much as Bocchi, maybe even more, and for more pure reasons. During her panic, Bocchi's approached by Kikuri Hiyori, a bassist from a different band. Hiyori convinces Bocchi to play a street show to create buzz about the upcoming Kesuko band performance. Bocchi is petrified, but gets advice from the seasoned bassist to try to play with her eyes closed to drown out the crowd. It feels like sage wisdom coming from a senior player, and when Bocchi tries it, she finds herself less tense and anxious. Seeing Bocchi take advice from a senior player about handling anxious situations shows that it's not just her who struggles. She just needs to find a way to deal with it that suits her. Meeting Hiyori also jumpstarts Bocchi's journey of music appreciation. Bocchi is invited to one of Hiyori's shows and sees a different side to the goofy drunk bassist she met out on the street. Standing on stage is a confident woman who plays a fusion of funk and rock Bocchi hadn't heard before. The music in the scene isn't my favorite, but to Bocchi it's mind-blowing to experience. As much as Bocchi says she hates popular pop music, she secretly appreciates all kinds of music, and the anime does too. A lot of Bocchi's growth can be seen in the beach episode, which was my favorite episode. Bocchi did the very real thing of clearing her summer schedule so when her new friends asked her to hang out, she would be free. Unfortunately, she never reaches out to her bandmates, being used to them reaching out to her to do things. I don't think people often assume they're someone's only friend or lifeline outside of maybe their family. The girls don't realize they're Bocchi's only friends, and she's too nervous to be the one to ask to experience the summer adventure she's never had. Bocchi is a good but severely disappointed sport, waiting until the girls notice they neglected her and it's the last day of summer. It's really cute how to make up for their mistake. Kesuko band tries to give Bocchi the best day ever. They go to the beach, hike up a mountain. It exhausts Bocchi, but in that moment I think she realizes how much they care about her and want her to feel like more than just their amazing guitarist. She's really their friend. Being an anime about a band, Bocchi the Rock has some really good music, and there's an actual album out by Kesuko band that was released in 2022. I like all the music. It has an indie rock feel, which is the perfect sound for Kesuko band. Guitar Loneliness in Blue Planet is on the album and was played in the anime. It's such a memorable moment where the band starts so nervous playing for a small crowd that doesn't even seem that interested. The moment Bocchi comes out of her shell and really plays the guitar with a little bit of Bocchi flair, I could feel the fire from her heart in my heart. I felt like I was at the concert, and it really hooked me into binging the rest of the show. All of the concert scenes have a little bit of a 3D effect on them, but I don't hate it, and I actually think it enhances the scenes. The shows at Starry felt like a real small rock show. There's nothing more fun than chasing your passions and dreams with friends, and Bocchi the Rock perfectly encapsulates that. It's more than an anime about a band, it's about finding courage through music. Bocchi is able to grow because she joined a band that forced her out of her shell. She became a part of a group that appreciated her and was so patient with her as she found her courage. The most important thing is that at the end of all this, Bocchi made friends for life, something she was certain she could never do. If you're anxious, this anime is incredibly relatable and hilarious. It also shows you're always going to meet the right people to enjoy life with. For a moment, you might even find your anxiety slips away. I strongly recommend watching Bocchi the Rock and then listening to the album. Thank you for listening to the Strawberry Loft podcast. If you'd like to hear more, head to my channel, hit subscribe, and feel free to browse. You can also find me and my thoughts on anime, manga, and more at strawberryloft.blog. Until next time, keep yapping about what you love.